Look
Hi.
who's here.
Hello.
This is Abby from Buy Life Back, and she's visiting Washington, and we're in the same space. So we just wanted to do a little bit of chatting and put this up on the YouTube, since that is how we know each other. But in addition to being YouTubers that talk about money, we also are both ceramic artists. So here we are. You can see all the clay things behind us. So we were just chatting, and we started talking about like school and jobs, and I had a couple questions for Abby, so I'm going to start with that, and then we might chat for a little bit.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming to visit, and thanks for coming to work.
This is the cutest ceramic office, and her ceramic studio that she works in, the teaching studio, is so cool. I'm like nerding out about ceramics right now.
I love it so much. Yeah. Okay, so you said you did go to school, you took ceramics in school, in community college.
Correct.
And then you said you buckled down and you got your degree.
Correct.
So what did you get your degree in?
I have a degree in business management.
Oh, hey.
And I didn't completely, I'm one class shy of having a minor in advertising. So
oh, okay.
I can't officially claim it, but I studied business management and advertising.
So this is actually like good prep for being a small business owner.
Correct.
That's amazing. So, well, I was going to ask, and I mean, this makes a lot of sense why you went in the direction of starting your own business instead of like getting a job. But what brought you back to ceramics for your business?
So I was in a time of life where I had actually quit a job. I was very unhappy in my job, and I just had this idea, I had the idea to start my ceramic business years before I did it. But I finally was in a place where I had a space. And
this is the house you live in now?
The house I live in currently.
So for you who don't know, Abby is a full-time ceramic artist making a living from her work. Unlike me, I work at a school, so it's a little different. It's a little more hustle.
Definitely. So I have a ceramic studio in my backyard. So I basically work out of my backyard mostly. And then I have an office in my home, and I do all my production in my outdoor shop, and then I do all my office work inside, and I do some of my production inside as well.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I set it all up and kind of just went for it. I really wasn't sure how it would do, and it took a couple years to get profitable for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm about 6 years in now.
Yeah, but you were like, okay, I need to get a kiln, I need to use a slab roller, like I need to get equipment, you knew what you needed to get, and you had this business acumen that, because I think it's amazing. I think the reason I'm curious is because like that's sort of like the dream for me, but then I'm like a little too scared to do it.
Well, it was really scary for a couple years.
Yeah.
It was, I did not make money for a couple years. So it definitely was something that I had to figure out how to make profitable. So what I had to do after a couple years of realizing that I wasn't making a profit was I had to really analyze my product line and had to analyze what I was doing with my time. And I had to just really engross myself in learning how to make it all efficient.
Yeah.
And I had to, study my market and realize what they actually wanted to buy and how I needed to interact with them so that I could actually make money.
Right.
Because the first couple of years I was like, this isn't working. So it got kind of stressful for a while. But once I really learned my target market, I think that's where things really took off.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing to see you, like you've, done videos at your events, like before them and stuff, and to see how much you're able, and how you've even just in the, the maybe year I've been watching you, how you've like made certain processes more efficient so you can do more business.
Yeah, so I actually did some business coaching, and one of the tips that I got from it was that if you feel like you're not making enough money on your product, but you don't feel like you can raise the prices, you got to learn how to make them faster.
Right.
So I really buckled down and I learned how to make my product. For one thing, I had to simplify it so that it wasn't so complicated.
Right.
And I learned how to make those things faster so that I was making money and I wasn't spending so much time on them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so if you don't know, Abby, Buy Life Back, go check out that channel, and you've recently become debt-free, which is amazing. You've been grinding so hard.
I feel so good. I feel so, like, every single bit of that weight is off my shoulders, and I can't even tell you. Just, if you are in debt and you're stressed out, just please get on that journey and go for it. don't regret it one bit. It was so hard, but the process and theory and the instruction behind it is not hard to comprehend. It's just hard to implement it. And I would say go for it. Yeah.
So if you're watching and you're a ceramic artist, like Abby has her own business, variable income, and like has rocked it so hard. So go watch every single one of her videos. They're delightful to binge watch.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, and so like you're on a trip. You said it was kind of last minute, but you're on a trip, so that's kind of cool. Is there any like specific, and I know you did a few like self-care things, but is there any specific thing that you're like, okay, now I can do now that I'm debt free?
I am just really excited to start my retirement savings. I think one of my biggest fears is not being okay when I'm older. And so just knowing that I will be okay now, like just being able to start my retirement savings and really hustling on top of that, I think that is the most exciting part.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
Awesome. Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like especially ceramic artists, because I talked to a lot of ceramic artists. Like, I don't know if you know, but last year I did a talk at NCECA at the yearly ceramics conference about this stuff, and people are either like not thinking about it, or they're like, I can never retire. It's like not a thing I can do. But this job is hard on your body. So like,
right.
Sort of like worst case
Clay
scenario.
is heavy.
Yes, like we gotta be able to take a break. And the best case scenario, how amazing would it be to not be relying on your work and labor for a paycheck, but just to be able to make what you care about.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And just, I don't know if this is something I want to do for the next 10, 20 years, even if it wasn't hard on my body.
Right.
I'm not sure if this is what I want to keep doing. But no matter where I go in my path, as far as like what I do for work, if maybe I start another business, or actually maybe down the line I will end up getting a job and working for somebody else. That could be a possibility as well. But I just know that I'm on track to have a retirement savings now.
Yeah.
And that's just like, I think that's probably one of the most exciting things.
That's
and just
awesome.
being able to keep my money. I went through 2 years of just dumping every single cent I had on top of just basically only what I needed to live.
Literally only what you needed to live.
And it got to a point where I was just like, how much longer can I do this? So it feels good to just get that done and over with, and I'm just on to the next phase of life.
That's awesome. And so that's what you're going to be talking about on your channel moving forward, is getting that first, did you say like $500,000 or something? Yeah.
So I'm working towards getting my first $500,000 towards retirement.
That's awesome. So. It's amazing, like, what is inside your brain from, like, watching the YouTube or, like, looking at the social media.
Yeah, I heard the first 100,000 is the hardest. So I'm really going to just focus on getting that first 100 grand into retirement and non-retirement investments. And then, on to the next.
That's awesome.
Get to my first $500,000. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Anything else we want to talk about?
Oh, I don't know. Thank you so much for having me. I love being up here and visiting my family, and I'm so glad we were able to get together. Thank you, Nicole.
So surreal to get to meet in real life. So thank you. Go follow Abby, and thanks so much for coming.